Why is now a good time to invest in Ukraine, and how is Ukraine contributing to European prosperity and security, and how can the country's transformation benefit EU businesses? Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Thyssen, dear Minister Schwabka, dear members of the business community, yes, it is a good time to invest in Ukraine, because even in times of uncertainty, and we live in times of uncertainties, there are still some certainties. And one of those certainties is that no matter what, Ukraine will be much deeper integrated in the European economy, not only at the point of membership, but already long before it is already happening. Let me explain. In the last couple of months, the world has changed fundamentally. A new geopolitical landscape is forcing our entire neighbourhood to gravitate even closer to the European Union as an anchor of stability and values. And it has strengthened the conviction across our continent that we Europeans need to do a lot more to protect our security and our prosperity, and that we need to do it together with our neighbours. This is why so many of the initiatives that the EU has launched in recent months are already factoring in our neighbours. We did that with the EU Competitiveness Compass. We did that with the Clean Energy Deal, and again with our internal EU security strategy. In the simplest terms, we have the choice between having our neighbours contribute to our prosperity or security, or be a security challenge. Nowhere is this truer than in Ukraine. Nobody is right now contributing more to European security than the Ukrainian armed forces. They are Ukraine's security guarantee for the rest of Europe. And besides military support, the best things we can do to support them is by helping Ukraine achieve economic strength and secure energy supplies. This is guiding our thinking and our work. For example, in February, we agreed an ambitious energy security package with Ukraine. It will fully integrate the country in our own EU electricity market by 2027. It took us 50 years to do the same in the Baltic states. This will increase the energy security for both the European Union and Ukraine. And it is a game changer for private investors looking at renewable energy, grid modernization and energy storage. It is a win-win. And we are also accelerating the integration of Ukraine in many more parts of the single market. To make business easier, strengthen Europe-wide value chains, and to create new opportunities for both Ukrainian and European businesses. Once again, it is because it is a win-win for Ukraine and EU member states alike. It is a win for business as it anchors your future investments in Ukraine, in the biggest and most stable integrated market in the world. And then there is defence. Here, the same very logic applies. Ukraine offers a unique opportunity to all of us. The integration of its highly innovative and thriving defence industry, with its capacity to scale, could be a fire starter for a much more integrated European defence market. Ukraine can be an enormous asset for the European Union that has to take more responsibility for its own security. This is very clear in the White Paper of Defence Commissioner Kubilius presented in March. All of these are measures we are already taking now before membership, and they are one of the reasons why it is now a good time to invest in Ukraine. Another reason is the impressive reform path we are seeing in Ukraine under extremely challenging circumstances. Please keep up the pace, dear Prime Minister Šmyhal, because our efforts to integrate Ukraine deeper and faster into our single market can only pay dividends if European investors and businesses know they will find a business climate that is predictable and safe. And predictability comes from the work you are doing on establishing an independent judiciary, on effective anti-corruption measures, on transparent public procurement, or on establishing a fair and efficient tech system. This is what we are doing together, day after day, and we are helping reform those important pillars of any competitive economy. And the benefits of Ukraine's reforms as part of the enlargement process are not something that will only come after Ukraine will enter in the EU, meaning after the membership. They are already showing results, and they are another reason to look at Ukraine as a place to do business. And let me add one more. A third reason to invest in Ukraine is that the EU is putting substantial resources into Ukraine's reconstruction and economic transformation. Our Ukraine investment framework is worth almost €10 billion, and we will use it to unlock at least €40 billion in public and private investments over the next 3 years. We have put it in place to help you de-risk your investments in rebuilding Ukraine. Also because we want reconstruction to contribute to Ukraine's accession process by rebuilding houses, roads, bridges and ports in accordance with European standards, such as energy efficiency standards. Ukraine has the potential to be a dynamic hub in Europe's industrial, digital and green transitions. This will generate positive spillover, especially to its neighbours like Hungary, Poland or Slovakia. We already have some great success stories to tell. Right now, the OKO Group is building one of Ukraine's largest wind farms. They are doing this with the help of EU-backed loan guarantees. The wind farm will produce almost 150 megawatts of clean power. That's enough to power more than 150,000 households per year. Or take Lesia, a Ukrainian-Danish joint venture that manufactures clothes in Zhytomyr, a city west of Kiev, that expanded its operation with EU support. Lesia started operations in 2022, the year of the full-scale invasion. This goes to show that even the war cannot deter Ukrainian entrepreneurs. We have launched a call for expressions of interest for European companies interested in investing in Ukraine. The response has been overwhelming. We heard from companies across the EU that are willing to get to work today, not tomorrow. I will still be around a little bit longer today, and I would love to hear your reasons for investment in Ukraine and where you could need more help from the European Union or Ukraine to make that even easier. Today, dear Prime Minister Šmyhal and I are launching a new platform to connect European capital, innovation and expertise with Ukrainians' needs and long-term goals. We want to put private businesses at the heart of our efforts to build a new future for Ukraine and for Europe. There is a Ukrainian expression, variti borscht razom, to cook borscht together. It doesn't just mean preparing a meal, it's more. It means working through something complicated together, patiently and with trust. Because anyone in Ukraine will tell you cooking borscht is no simple task. Everyone has their own favorite way of preparing it. You need to listen to each other, adapt, and then find a recipe that works for everyone. At the end, it comes eating. With our new EU-Ukraine business partnership, we will variti borscht razom. It is the perfect place to take forward the suggestions of you, the business community, to monitor progress, to discuss what works and where we need to adjust the recipe and get the results at the end. And we will continue this work in July in Rome at the Ukraine Recovery Conference. Investing in Ukraine today is investing in Europe of tomorrow, into a future where a strong, democratic and innovative Ukraine contribute just as much to Europe's prosperity as it already does to our security. And let's make that happen together.